Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dim light, and boy, we got a special guest, Charles Neal himself, host of the amazing podcast, Dispatches from Myrtle Beach. What's up, Dad?
Just having a big time here at Mythical, so yeah, let me come on Ear Biscuits a little bit, so we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we've
been putting him to work.
We're really milking you out here in Los Angeles. We bring you out here and just put you to work. How does that feel?
Well, it's all right because I'm used to work. But
yeah, you are.
It's a little bit different.
It's a different kind of work.
I'm used to. Though.
Yeah, you're not gonna get your hands very dirty. Well, maybe you will. I don't know. We'll see what we have for you the rest of the week.
I think there might be. It might get bloody. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a big event coming up this week. Good Mythical Evening, October 25th. That would be this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It is live. You can buy a ticket, and Dad's going to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're going to be sexy, scary, and stupid. Who's sexy, who's scary, and who's stupid in this group?
You know what? I'll take one for the team, and I will be sexy.
Okay, I'll be stupid, and that means that you can be scary, Charles.
Or did you want to be sexy?
I'm gonna be whatever y'all want me to be.
See,
so I'm easy to get along with.
How cooperative he is. He's just like me. He's so easy to get along.
Yeah,
with.
I don't. Yeah, what
funny.
Could you? Yeah, what happened with that? You like the thing I noticed about you is that you're down for anything. You don't really voice your opinions too much. Like you don't. You're not. You don't. You don't. I'm saying you don't like lead every conversation with your preferences. You're like, hey, I'm down for whatever. And did he just get all that from his mom?
Oh, no, he probably got a lot he got from me, but, you know, when the things that y'all do, I don't know anything about. And the best thing is you get older, you figure out, just keep your mouth shut and do what you're told.
Oh, so you're telling me that as he gets older, it's going to get better?
It might.
Because I feel like it's been getting worse.
No. I know I'm getting weirder, but I'm getting more mellow, man. I don't care about as much as I used to care about.
Okay.
We got some voicemails today because we're getting a kick out of these voicemails and where they might lead.
Yeah, and we're going to get Charles's perspective instead of just the two of ours perspective. But y'all had a birthday dinner last night.
That's right.
I heard the dinner.
That would be correct.
We are hurting this morning. We are suffering from a meat hangover, man, because we took Nancy out to a Brazilian steakhouse for her birthday. She declined the Brazilian wax, which was part of the birthday.
Or the Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
BBL?
Oh, yeah. That is what BBL stands for.
Yeah. What do you think it stood for?
I never really thought about it.
And I don't know what you're
I have
about.
thought about them, but I haven't thought about it. You don't know what a BBL is? No. I thought we talked about that on Dispatches once.
We may have.
Just Google it. Find a quiet place and Google it.
You know, they bring out all the meats on the what?
On a skewer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On a skewer.
Skewer, yeah.
And I told you, I mean, the guy even told you when we sat down, now you need to pace yourself.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. There's a salad bar. They're attacking the salad bar. Dad's coming back with a plate full of salad bar.
You gotta go easy on the salad bar.
I mean, there's like...
Well, I went pretty easy, but they had beef stroganoff and they had scalloped potatoes on the hot bar, and they were really good. So I got a little bit of those. And
all before they start bringing out just reams of beef.
Well, I didn't get that much because I knew they were going to, but I mean, you got, hey, I may not ever get to go back there again.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to try what they got.
Get a lifetime supply while you're there. So what happened?
They don't have Brazilian steakhouses down in Myrtle Beach?
They got one in North Myrtle Beach about 10 blocks from where we live. I'm not going there.
Especially now. Okay, so what happened? Like, what? Give me the play-by-play. What's the meat hangover feel like?
My play-by-play is that I was up and down with the upset stomach all night.
Oh no!
And running back and forth to the bathroom.
Oh
and
my gosh.
and then
He had the meat runs.
Oh.
Well, I meant he was running the bathroom, but that sounded.
But this
rapid.
didn't happen to you. You slept okay?
I did not sleep okay. I slept very uneasy and I had a wild dream I'll have to tell you about. And then when I woke up, I just couldn't eat breakfast. You know, if I miss my smoothie, that means something.
Yeah.
I had to skip my smoothie this morning.
Oh no.
Just feel
We'll
like
see how things go.
too much meat, man. The meat dreams. I had this dream that I was taking a group of people to Disney. I don't know if it was World, Land, whatever it was. I didn't know half the people, but I drove a busload of people 6 hours to Disney. And we get there and security is just wild. They're like searching stuff. And I wasn't worried. I don't have anything to hide. But then they pull me to the side and they're like, "Sir, we've got some concerns with you." And they're like running a test on my coffee mug. And then they're like coming back and saying that while they're running the test, I reach in my back pocket and I pull out some sort of weird gun that I believe somebody has planted. I've never seen this. I've never seen this gun. It didn't even. It looked more like a disassembled toy, but I knew it was a gun. So
it was a Disney gun.
Apparently, and I kept it.
Okay.
And they hadn't found that. So then I've got this in my back pocket, and I'm like getting real scared. And then they come back and say, "We did a test on the lid of your coffee mug, and we found some illicit substance." And at this point, I'm scared and also angry. Who's this toying with my coffee mug and putting firearms in my back pocket? And they said, "You can't go in." And then I got so angry and embarrassed because I'd driven this group here.
Yeah, you should have been embarrassed.
And you know how when you get so mad that you start to cry? I got so mad I started to cry.
Wow. Okay.
That was one of his mama's traits.
Okay, all right. Yeah, right.
So, you don't get so mad you can cry, Dad?
Oh no, when I get mad, I ain't crying.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying boo-hoo like in a wreck, in a puddle. I'm saying like your eyes start watering just like with anger. That's a difference.
Okay.
All right, fine.
That's not what I pictured, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
I was angry crying.
Good thing you explained it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, y'all gonna team up on me? I
Yes.
didn't bring you in here to take your
I
side.
angry cry. I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Help him
Jenna's
out.
on my side.
Help him out.
But we couldn't go in. So like the people who had they had done rides that were like near the security thing, and we had to pull them all back and put them back in the bus. And as we were leaving to get in the bus, there was some waterway, and I fell into it.
A lazy river?
It was more of a pond. And then I'm being approached by these creatures. I would describe it as a cross between a manatee and an alligator. And I was in the water, treading water, and they were coming at me, I think to attack me. So I reached behind me and I grabbed a stick, like a spear, like a javelin. Don't know where I got that from. Apparently they're everywhere at Disney. And did I murder the manatees? Yes. I stabbed the hell out of these. No. I mean, they were also alligators. And they were coming at me.
Was it just like a fat alligator?
It was like a fat alligator.
Yeah, because a cross between a manatee and alligator, that's a fine line. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know if it was friendly or not, but his mouth was open and they were coming at me.
Okay, all right.
And I mean, I talk about skewer. I skewered the first one. I skewered the second one. I skewered the third one.
Was it a trident?
And then no, it was one thing, a javelin.
A unident.
Yeah. And I'm thinking people have got to be seeing this. Just like
people got to be watching you. Is that what you like?
Well, yeah,
you're putting on a show.
It's at a park, and I'm
right.
like, and I told Dad on the way in about this story, and I was like, you know what? That it actually made me feel better to kill the manatees in my dream because I was feeling pretty bad, and I killed the fourth one, And I get out of the water and I act like nothing happened. Apparently nobody saw me. So we get to the bus and I'm driving us out and then somebody forgot something. So we had to turn around and go back. I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to get caught now. I mean, I've already, they caught my illicit substance.
Right.
I'd thrown the gun in a trash can.
Yeah.
And I felt sure that they caught that on video.
At least you didn't shoot the manatees.
No, I would never do that.
You stabbed them.
Stabbed him to death. And self-defense. I really believe that.
And people, I mean, people get upset when you do that. There's not many of those.
Well, it was,
it
was just as much alligator as manatee. Okay. It's not a real thing that exists.
Okay. All right.
I love manatees. I would never kill a manatee outside of a dream state. Those meat dreams, man, they do it to you. So we're going back, and I'm like, well, now they're gonna put me in lockup or something. Disney has a lockup. You've heard about this.
Disney jail, yeah.
They're gonna put me in there.
My uncle's still in there.
I'm never gonna get out. I get to. Your uncle be my best friend.
You're starting to talk like Goofy after all these years.
And I'm walking back to where the person left their thing. I don't know why I went back in, but I look over the edge down into the water and I see those dead manatees at the bottom. And
oh yeah.
Nobody had noticed yet that they were down there, dead.
Do you want me to interpret this dream?
Please.
I just mark it up to the meat, man. I blame it on the meat.
It's deeper than the meat, man.
What?
I don't know. You must have got some stuff going on that you're afraid about Disney finding out about.
And it was so real, and I was so worked up about it. I was paranoid. I was angry. I was wet and bloody. It was bad. It was real bad. I never have dreams like that. I'm never going back to a Brazilian steakhouse either, Dad.
Yeah, I'm actually...
Too much meat.
Well, how did Nancy enjoy it? It was her birthday.
She enjoyed it.
She had a good time.
She paced herself.
Yeah,
she did pretty. Her and Christy.
They kind of went for it. Actually.
Yeah, they. Okay. I don't know if you'd call it pacing because Nancy loves a salad bar, so I knew she was going to.
You don't go to a
chow
Brazilian
down on
restaurant
that.
for a salad bar, but it was pretty good.
But it was a good salad bar. I mean, they had a lot of eclectic stuff.
But there was one highlight. You thought you were done because there's that thing. You put a thing on the table and it's green, and then if you turn it over, it looks like a cup holder. It's red, and that way they know to stop bringing the skewers.
And then they bring something else.
But then they were bringing something to another table, and you had to turn that thing back green again.
Yeah, I kind of had to speak very loudly to get his attention because we turned all ours over red because it had that skewered pineapple.
Oh
man.
So that was
It'd
kind of
make you take back stuff you didn't even steal. I'm telling you. So we all got some pineapple.
Tell them what was on it.
And it had brown sugar and I forget cinnamon on it. And where they'd been on that rotation, and it had cooked into it in the juice from the pineapple, and that's what they gave you. They didn't give you real deep in it, but I mean,
like a little.
So he had to come back twice.
Oh, so he brings it and slices it for you,
just like the meat.
Oh, yeah. So it's almost like a when they do
churrascara, I think.
Yeah, for the
trombo
au pastor.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was good.
Wow.
Then
you were talking about doing that at home.
Yeah. Nancy said, you got to do some of that on the grill when you cook. I said, okay.
Pretty good idea. It was really good.
Okay. But then they brought Nancy had looked at the menu when we came in Monday with Lando, and she showed it to me, the dessert menu, and they
were planning days ahead.
They had a custard pie kind of thing.
Well, they call it a flan.
Well, whatever. This was custard.
Yeah.
But, man, so I ordered it. And they ate, Link didn't eat any. Lando ate a little bit, but me and Christy chowed down on this, man. Oh, boy. Because it had caramel stuff in the...
that might have been what did you in.
Yeah.
It may have been the flan.
Yeah. No, it couldn't have been. Not as good as I love custard.
It
could have been too much meat and too much custard. Yeah.
You really can't.
Well, I'm glad I'm glad you're here. I would have never known that you've been up all night. You look great.
Well, I do all right. I mean,
You're tough. That's another thing you didn't pass on.
Learning a new language really comes in handy when you're traveling. Also, if you're watching shows in a different language, that's fun. Or just to improve your brain.
In any of those scenarios, in comes Rosetta Stone, the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app that truly immerses you in the language you want to learn.
They've used trusted experts for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, some of which include Spanish, French, German, Korean, Japanese, Dutch, and Arabic.
It's designed for fast language acquisition with an intuitive process so you pick up a language naturally, first with words, then phrases, then sentences.
Their built-in true accent feature is an awesome addition that gives you feedback on your pronunciation so you truly learn to speak like a pro.
A lifetime membership has access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers at an amazing value of 50% off.
Do not put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. You can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/ear.
That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/ear today.
All right, let's get to a voicemail. Come on now.
Hi, Rhett Link. My name's Truman. I got a bit of a conundrum for you. I have a big crush on this girl I work with, but she unfortunately has a boyfriend. How do I, A, catalyze their breakup, and then B, once I'm successful, how long do I wait until I make a move?
Okay.
Also, it's important to note that she is my superior.
Whoa!
No.
All right, hey,
What happened?
first of all, thank you for giving us this incredible situation to navigate perfectly.
Holy moly.
Yeah, strap in
He dropped
because we're about to
bomb at the end
we're about
of that
to give you some great advice.
Superior.
Corbin, was that the name? We'll go with Corbin. Something with a C.
I mean, at least he's not, if he said, and, you know, if he ended it with, and
I'm her superior. Yeah,
we
right.
wouldn't be talking
right,
about this.
right.
We
Just
couldn't be,
to be clear.
we couldn't even have fun with this question.
To be clear, we wouldn't have just moved right along.
Now it's just, it's complicated
You think?
and challenging.
Yeah, I mean, Jenna, I saw you put your head in your hands
Immediately.
when he just said she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, that early?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You don't believe in breaking people up if you're interested?
No.
Oh, okay.
We have friends who are married. I have multiple married friends who they're really thriving, and it was the result of them meeting and it then dissolving her current relationship, or maybe his one time. I've seen
Jamie's
positive
not comfortable with
proof.
this either.
Yeah, we're both
Well, hey,
like,
if there ain't no ring, it ain't no thing, right?
Yeah, it just sounds a little bit like emotional cheating to me,
Oh,
in the beginning at least.
emotional
Yeah.
cheating.
Well, we're not. I mean, okay.
Well, if he's trying to break up that relationship, like with her knowing or without her knowing, either way is bad. But without her knowing, and then he makes a move, and they end up together, and she finds out later that he broke up her. I don't know. That's a whole trust. I don't like it.
Okay. Well,
like any of it.
let me just start with. I think we need to acknowledge one piece of this. The work goggles thing.
Oh, no.
Can we just talk about work goggles for a second?
Yes, please.
So we have a phenomenon that we called stint goggles. We've talked about before, but just to refresh your memory, when we were in college, we were involved with Campus Crusade, and you would go on, sometimes maybe right after you graduated, you would go on stint. You would go over to a different country with a small team of people and be there for like 6 months to a year, whatever.
Short-term international.
And so what we would find would happen is being in a different culture with a very small group of Americans, you began to see somebody on that team through these goggles, right? It's just like beer goggles or whatever, and you sort of exaggerate your connection. You're in an emotionally vulnerable state, and you're away from your culture, and you're adjusting, and you end up kind of like bonding with somebody, and you think you're in love, and then you come back home, and then you realize that you just had on stint goggles, right? So I believe that this phenomenon extends to work.
Mm-hmm. Dad, have you ever had a run-in with beer goggles?
And I don't know about stint goggles, but you know when you come back and forth and do something like that, when I grew up, that was just lust.
Yes, there you go. Right. That's a simple way of talking about it.
Okay. But what about beer goggles? Has anything gone sideways when you've put on the beer goggles?
I don't think I've ever had a set of beer goggles on.
Well, that's not literal.
Oh.
It's when you drink too much and you think somebody's fine, but they're not.
Oh, yeah, and you wake up and want to cut your arm off and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Hold on, why do you cut your arm off?
Well, it depends on what you did with that arm.
On the easy up out wherever you're at.
Oh, it's underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath
She's
it.
laying on top of the arm. You got to cut your arm and get out. Okay, I get it. Wow. I like that.
I don't know, man. What? You can take it.
So I just feel like that's the first thing to acknowledge is you might need to reevaluate how connected you are because, I don't know, you see somebody in like work clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like you see somebody in like, if she's your superior, maybe she occasionally wears a business suit. You know, a woman walks in with a business suit, I mean, that can do things for you sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. And you just got to be.
If you go out on a date and she's wearing the same thing, it starts to get weird.
She can still give you orders. That's fine. Okay, but what I'm saying is you got to make sure that, you know, and I would say that's probably the case. But let's just assume that that's not the case. Let's just assume that you actually would be good for each other, all things considered. Mm-hmm. And we believed, after having evaluated the current relationship that she is in, and the potential relationship that she can have with our caller, that we have determined that it would be better for her and him to be in a relationship together. How would he go about navigating this? I just set it up and handed it to you.
But what about, well, we need to talk about, let's remove the power dynamic for a second and just talk about what
how do you get somebody to break up?
Jenna and Jamie seem to be objecting to, and that is breaking up a relationship. Now, there's a light touch that I think it's gonna be okay, right? I mean, if you get to know somebody, and we're not saying that you work with them, but in general, you get to know somebody who's dating somebody. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you just get to know them as an acquaintance. Mm-hmm. I mean, that gives them some information to decide, oh, I'm actually finding myself interested in this person.
But the question is,
can't that happen?
Of course that can happen.
Of course
there's nothing wrong with that.
That can definitely happen. That's not what we're objecting.
Yeah.
Right. You're objecting to the person who's trying to instigate the breakup actually taking some sort of action to make the breakup happen.
What was the verb he
Yes.
used? He said
catalyze.
Catalyze the breakup.
Here's the question I have for the room.
Yes.
Is that, yes, you can put yourself in close proximity to another relationship and see if you catch some strays or whatever. But do you not think it is inappropriate to somehow communicate your interest so that that person understands that, like, I do want you to know that I like you, and that if you weren't in this relationship with this person,
Well,
I'm
Rhett,
just asking the question.
I think you're right on the right track because he doesn't know if his boss lady or superior likes him or not.
Right.
But he don't even need to worry about, to me, breaking these two up if they're dating or whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. But he needs to just find out, first of all, if she's going to even be interested in trying to go out with him.
Yeah.
Or him to see that. And I mean,
I think it starts with a resignation.
and I don't know about that, but I mean, I've kind of, in my years, I've kind of walked that road and had some people like y'all were talking about that, well, I'd like to date her.
Have you ever fallen in love with a boss?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. But one of my friends' girlfriends or something, I said, I think she'd be a lot better off with me than him. So I'm going to see if she wants to date me. I didn't tell him, but I just let her know. So.
Oh, you let her know?
Yeah.
You gave her the option.
Yeah. And asked her, said, and of course, I might, when I was younger, I might have been a little more arrogant. But.
Yeah, because you never know.
But just saying it, to Dad's point, just saying it, hey, I'd be interested in you if you were interested in me, but I know you're dating somebody, so
yeah, that was.
I'm not going to do anything about it. What about
just
that?
in general, not with this
What about
situation.
that?
We haven't gotten to the superior thing yet. We'll talk about that problem in a minute.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you put the ball in her court, then you haven't done nothing wrong, and then it's up to her at that point.
Instead of like a clandestine, flirtatious.
Or framing him for something.
Yeah, because he's not loyal to anyone in the situation. It's her at that point. If she knows and then she continues to go with it, then it gets messy.
I think if you express interest and then you just leave it lay, that's also good for their relationship. It's a good test. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, do you really want to be with this guy? It's up to you.
I think I actually have a way that you can do this that is completely ethically acceptable. So find out everything you can possibly find out about her boyfriend. Okay.
So far, so good.
That's step one. Ethically.
But Rhett, did the boyfriend work here too?
I don't know.
That's what.
I don't think so.
I'm saying no.
Okay.
Are we looking through his windows? What's happening?
We're in the least we're paying for that thing where you Google somebody's name and then you pay like $3 to learn more. At least that.
Yeah.
Social media stalking, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Find out what he dresses like. Find out how he wears his hair. Find out what he's into. Then slowly, this is going to take 18 to 24 months. This is a long play because if you go too fast, it'll be obvious what you're doing.
Oh.
The first thing you do, just get a shirt that he has and wear it to work. Okay?
Okay.
A replica. You're not stealing one.
A replica. Yeah. Don't be creepy.
Right. Be cool about it.
Be cool about this. And then slowly over the course, I would say 6 months, you've slowly transferred your wardrobe to basically dress just like him. And then you start working on the haircut. This is another 6 months. It can't be sudden. If he's got a rat tail, you got to slowly grow a rat tail.
Well, that's how rat tails grow.
Thank God. If he's got real short hair, you got long hair. Don't cut it off all at once. Mm-hmm. Move it slow so nobody even notices you have a haircut at any point.
Yep.
You are slowly, if you can tell, becoming him.
Yep.
And
so
then
that
one
when
day,
he mysteriously passes away.
No.
Then it's
what's going to happen is
it's like loading the boat off the ramp.
You become so much like him that one day you just walk into her office because she's asked you to come in, and she gets confused and thinks maybe her boyfriend has shown up. And at that point, you just go with it.
Right. Double the pleasure, double the fun.
And then, at that moment, you have two paths. Choose your own adventure. I don't have enough experience to know which one's better. One, you just keep riding that wave, and you just continue confusing her for a period of time, and then just try to push him out slowly. But I think the better plan, the more foolproof plan, is once she is confused and thinks that maybe you are him, do something disqualifying. As him, not as you.
Oh, yes.
Then she goes home, she breaks up with him, and then over the next 18 to 24 months, you slowly become yourself again. And then you begin the process of trying to date her.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So this is a 3 to 4 year process.
I like the fact that
if you're serious about this, you'll do it.
You've ended up still being yourself and you're not stuck being
No, you
him
can't
forever.
be him forever.
You don't want to be him forever.
No, you have to become him slowly. disqualify him, and then slowly become yourself again.
Slowly.
And there's no guarantees that she's going to like you after all that.
This is some real spy shit.
Yeah.
Sounds like you ought to make this a TV episode.
Yeah, it sounds like a full season.
You're right. You're writing for
Sounds like a
Criminal
full
Minds
season.
now.
Yeah.
I have a much snappier solution.
Faster than 4 years?
I'm not interested in a 4-year plan for.
That's
my
like
guy.
high school.
Yeah. That, but okay, now they're in high school. What? Don't confuse us.
No.
Yeah, it also could be college or like a 4-year prison sentence.
Right.
I don't know
4
what
years.
you're getting at.
Right. Yeah.
What do you have to do to be in for 4 years? Pretty minor. I
don't know. Steal a car.
Javelin a manatee or 4, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just a dream. Don't hold it against me. I think the snappy thing to do is go into her office and resign. Now, it's one of those resignations that she has to accept. You need to be a good employee. You need to.
I like this.
And then it's.
You tell her why.
It's like I would like to turn in my resignation. Well, why? You're a wonderful team member. I love being your boss, lady. Oh, you do? Well, I am interested in maybe there's something here between us, and I want to remove any barriers on my part that would keep us from maybe seeing if there's a spark and a future between us. So I am resigning from this job so that we can have an unobstructed exploration of a potential relationship because I really like you.
Wow.
And
I like this.
I'm removing my barriers. Now the ball's in your court.
I have a slight amendment that might be a little. I love this idea.
I'm strongly implying that she's got to break up with the guy, but then maybe she won't. And if she doesn't accept the resignation, she still knows. But she knows that you're on the up and up.
The only thing I don't like about it, I love the fact that it's quick, and I love the fact that it puts the ball in her court. The thing I don't like about it is that
no rat tail.
There's no rat tail, and it so explicitly puts the ball in her court.
Yeah.
Where I actually like making people realize that the ball is in their court, and then they have the power of choice.
Right. So make it seem like it's her idea.
Slight amendment. You go in and you say, I need to resign. She says, why? And you say, to be honest with you, it is distracting working with you because I like you so much. And I don't feel like I can continue to do my best work, because you're such a distraction to me. And then she's flattered.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, shit, I got to do something about this. Either, okay, whatever, I don't like you. But if it's like, well, I do, what? Then she does whatever she wants to.
I think she might move
she
you
hasn't
to
been
another
given a choice.
She might give you a promotion in another department. Is that possible?
Well, and then you become an equal.
Yep. There it is.
What y'all girls think about that?
Yeah, I have no notes. I like that. I like the long con plan of slowly becoming him, to becoming yourself again. Right. Yeah, that's good. And then no notes about that. But yeah, I think he would have to resign. He has to remove himself from that whole other problem situation.
So you're on board with both, Jamie?
Yeah, I think I think after 4 years, hopefully he's still even interested in this chick. That would be my only thing.
That would suck if he wasn't.
Yeah, it's quite an investment.
But I like the faster one. I was thinking, become friends with the boyfriend and then show how you're such a better guy than that guy when you all hang out together. And then
he becomes the third wheel.
Yeah, but then he takes over and then he's now.
Yeah. You can have a strong third wheel performance sometimes. That is a good strategy.
Let me throw something else into the mix that I have very little understanding of.
Great. That's the way to start talking about something. Yep. That's what we do on this show.
Yeah. The concept of a work wife or a work husband.
Uh-huh.
I hear the term work wife a lot more than work husband, but I'm sure it goes either way. I don't quite understand what this is, and I
I think
we work with a lot of women. Look at us working with women right now. They're better than working with men.
Definitely.
But I don't think I have a work wife. I don't know. I don't quite know what that is exactly. But my understanding is that the real wife refers to the work wife as the work wife. There's like an understanding there. It's not usually the guy who says.
In my experience, what that would be is it's someone of the opposite sex that works closely with you at your level, that you spend basically as much time with as you do your spouse and your friends, and you talk to them a lot. You're like texting them for work purposes. That's your work wife.
Oh, and so you're on the...
It's not a relational thing.
And there's no power dynamic. You're at the same level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but now this is not the concept of the ice husband and the ice wife that we talked about.
What? I
don't
remember that.
We met someone. I'm not going to say what he did. I'm just going to say that he had been to Antarctica.
Oh.
Okay. Not going to say his role because there's probably not a lot of these down there.
That's right.
And we were asking him, as soon as we found out that he had just flown back from Antarctica, we started asking lots of questions, and he had spent an extended amount of time there. And I said the thing about like, do you have a girlfriend down there or something? Because I had watched a documentary about how there's not many women down there, and the women are incredibly popular because you have these men who are just cooped up for a very long time.
Right.
And women just have, their pick of the litter, essentially. And he said, yeah, the concept of an ice husband and an ice wife is real. And in that case, it's literally somebody that you're having an affair with while you're in Antarctica. Because if you work in Antarctica, you usually go for an extended period of time because you like go through the full like summer season or whatever.
But it doesn't necessarily, I didn't take him to be talking about an affair because.
Oh, he was.
Oh, I barely knew this guy. He wasn't married. He wasn't like admitting to us that he had an affair.
No, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about, asked the question.
But it's
and
like
he
a
said,
summer
yes.
camp boyfriend.
Yeah, but with sex.
Even better.
So it's an affair.
As long as you have a relationship back home. But there's also an ice wife where it's like you connect with, you hook up with somebody, and then whenever you leave
only
the project,
only on the ice. Yeah, that's also the
ice.
same situation.
Okay.
Yeah, different.
It doesn't have to involve infidelity.
Correct. Yeah. But that's not what a work wife is.
Right. So are you my work husband?
Probably.
I think that's why people must think that we're gay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because we work closely together.
Right. Because they're like, why would two men share an office?
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes spoon.
Is there
camera.
Is there an answer here for work wife, work husband? That's an understanding amongst everybody, right? We have a special relationship that's in the work environment, and then I have a special relationship with you that's in the home environment. And everybody seems to be okay with it. Obviously, as long as there's no intimacy, right? There's boundaries for this.
Yeah, I don't think...
It's just got to be about the work.
I'm not confused.
It's just got to be about the work.
It's just about the work. Now,
if there's actual attraction, then a work wife thing can't happen, right?
Well,
Yeah,
right.
It would start as that, and then it could become something that was more problematic. Okay. I think we've covered this in so many different ways.
Dead in there, but I did learn something.
I think Corbin, or whatever his name was, has so
you have a long
many
tail and a short
option. Yeah. Let's hear another one.
Hey, Rhett Link. I'm just calling to say that you guys did an awful job of answering Dan's question about how to get engaged when his fiance asked that for something private, yet with friends and family. As someone who got engaged in 2024 and not 1964, or whenever you guys were 17 and getting engaged, I just wanted to reach out to Dan and say all she means is that she wants a special intimate moment for the two of you when you actually propose, and then to celebrate for friends and family after. So go somewhere that's special to the two of you, have a nice moment where you guys can say everything sweet, take her to dinner after, and have friends and family waiting there to surprise her. That's all. Rhett Link, love your content, but yeah, not the best engagement advice.
Bam. Well, Dad, let me bring you up to speed. On a previous episode, we gave some great advice about how to make his fiance happy with an engagement that involved privacy with a photographer hidden in bushes, but then also having the family there. Mm-hmm. And
one friend or family member at a time. Yeah, also in the bush.
I gave a lot of good advice about going to all the places that was special in their relationship as the date, and then at certain points, then the family would show up, and there'd be two photographers, and they would switch, they would run ahead, and each be at each special place taking photos.
Be a drone.
But Rhett was really upset about it,
No.
and he was very grumpy. And he basically tried to rip the whole thing to shreds. And this guy's saying neither one of us were on the right track.
This guy is just saying that all you should do is just ask, do the engagement thing and then go to a restaurant. Yawn much.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It was Rhett's advice. It wasn't mine. I was joking. But I thought that was really good advice. I'm kind of upset that this guy's calling us on the carpet, and I'm upset that we played it. It's like what you're trying to insinuate that we're old.
We're not old.
We're not old. My dad's old.
I'm old. But Rhett, the proposing to someone is something special
Yep.
for both people,
Right.
and I don't understand why if it's not that special to him that he's just proposing to her by herself, what the hell do you need to take her out to eat for?
Oh, right.
I mean, I'll give you one little thing.
Okay.
When I proposed to Nancy, and this had to be karma or something, because I proposed to her on the beach, and there was a man standing behind us and took a picture while I proposed to her. And I did not hire this guy. It was just, and he walked up to us and he asked me, he said, "Did you just propose to her?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "I'll bring you a picture tomorrow." And we have the picture.
And you went out on the beach the next day, and he walks up.
And he walks up and brings us back a picture.
Whoa.
So
Photographer in the bushes didn't even have to pay it.
that's what I mean. I know you plan stuff and want it to be special, but I don't know if you need pictures proposing. I didn't need a picture that day of me proposing to Nancy. I mean, it's special just for you, whether you have a picture or not of it.
Mm-hmm. You just whatever happens,
for you to remember.
Right.
And you to do and you to have with that one person, because if you're proposing to somebody, it's something you want to have the rest of your life with them.
Right.
Not with everybody else. And then
it's not about putting on a show for the internet.
But what about just a drone, though?
You'd be all right with a drone. But
just like a drone that's not too close, so you can still hear each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You're down on one knee and it's like point blank. It's like hitting you in the head.
But I mean, that's just my experience. So.
I like that, though.
But our caller is saying that we overcomplicated it.
I don't think so. Listen.
Dad is saying keep it simple.
I don't think
what
hiring.
happen.
If you think that hiring two photographers and having a drone operator and having one different family member hide in a bush along with one of those photographers and having the photographer switch off in order for there to be like a handoff and the photographer is always there with your friend before you get to the location, and doing that at least 12 times, and then finally the last one, everyone gets there in time and you've got both photographers and a drone and all the family. If you think that's too complicated,
you don't need to give.
Have you heard of algebra?
Yeah. Don't sign up for algebra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't take that course.
Let's hear another voicemail.
What?
Hi, Rhett and Link. I have a question. My fiance and I have been engaged for almost 2 years. and we've decided that we're going to elope because neither of us care about a wedding, as evidenced by the fact that it's been almost 2 years. However, we are feeling a little bit guilty about excluding our family. How guilty should we feel about not telling our family that we are getting married until after we have already gotten married? And if you have any suggestions for how we should tell them after, please share them. We were going to go with the idea of a cake that said, "Sorry, we got married without you." But if you guys have anything better to suggest, I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much. Love you guys forever.
I love the fact that they're on the same page. That's right. If you don't want a big wedding, if you want the same thing and you want to elope, go for it. Do what they did back in the day and drive down to South Carolina and just make it happen.
My parents did this. Right? My parents eloped.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it secret to the family?
Yeah. I mean, they'd been engaged and there were plans to do a wedding later in the year, and they got tired of having to deal with it. So they drove to Virginia and eloped.
They had to cross the state line, too.
They crossed the state line. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. You can't do that in North Carolina, but you could do it in South Carolina.
That would be correct.
A lot of people would just migrate down there just to get
right
over the border. It's kind of like going to Vegas, right, Dad?
Just drive down to Dillon, get your marriage license, and walk in there, and that man just hook you right on up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My in-laws did the same thing.
I don't understand the part about
then get in the car and drive to Myrtle Beach and have a honeymoon.
Right.
Why can't you tell him, you know what, we've decided to elope, we're doing it in a couple of days. At least you're giving them a heads up. Is that because they're going to get upset and try to stop it?
Because then depending on, well, first of all, I don't know the situation, but a lot of people choose to do this because, well, first of all, a lot of people choose to do this now because a wedding is expensive. And this is like a way to just not have to worry about it. If your parents aren't paying for it.
And you can't find a venue. People spending years trying to find a venue. What's up with, how hard is it to find a venue? Apparently really, really, really hard.
But the other thing is that for a lot of people, the prospect of their families coming together, and it might be because of some individual or some individuals and one or both of the families, that is something that is not going to be an edifying experience and not something that they want to experience when they're getting married. Like because if you think, oh, well, this will be really special and our families are super supportive and this will be a beautiful ceremony and I want my family to be a part of this. If you want to elope, it's either probably for financial or because you want to avoid some drama that you know will occur, right? Or maybe it's just you don't want to have the headache of having to plan this shit that can get really complicated and make you really stressed out. It's like that Dawes song where he talks about they're planning the wedding and he's like, you don't seem to be having any fun at all, talking to his fiance.
Yeah.
And so I don't blame you, first of all. But that's why you don't give them a heads up if you're going to do it.
But then you have a reception. You just plan a party so they can receive you in some form, right?
Well, Rhett, when you get married, and I've done it more than once, but when you get married and you want to do something, if you letting everybody else in the family have a little something to do with it, they want to be in more control than you are. I think that's what you were saying.
Yep.
And you want it to be for y'all. So just do like you said, and just elope and come back, and then, hey, they the ones that's got to be mad and live with it, not you. So just do it like you want to do it.
Especially if you're on the same page. That makes it super easy. You got each other, and you need support and you need family to support you, but people who really love you are going to respect the decision that you make, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think when you get married, you're supposed to be going your individual way anyway. Mm-hmm. And I know you need some support sometimes, but you need to be doing it however you want to do it. If you want to do it with your family, do it. But if you want all that headache and all that stuff that goes on with it, then just elope and go on and get done.
Listen, just invite them to a reception, and if you got a baked potato bar, they'll forget all about it. Don't forget, open bar and potato bar, double up on it. People will not.
And there's mashed potatoes too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's
It's a mashed potato
fully baked
bar.
potatoes, but then there's also just mashed potatoes that you could then put the same stuff on top of, which actually is better.
I agree with that. Mashed potato bar and open alcoholic bar.
You definitely give them alcohol because
they're
all happy.
Good.
They get those carbs in there. They get alcohol. They think whatever you did was the best decision of your life.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, we had some relatives of relatives who got they had a surprise. They were having they planned a wedding shower that then when all of the family showed up, it was the wedding. And nobody knew it.
Ooh.
Isn't that a thing?
Was there a potato bar?
Was there? Yeah, isn't that how it happened, Dad? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm confused.
Talking about.
Oh no, I ain't going there. That dog won't hunt with me. You just going. I'm not going there.
Well, I'm just asking in not naming any
Listen,
names.
First of all, I'm on invited.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's a
there.
problem. Yeah.
So
I wasn't either.
I won't there, and as a matter of fact, this is the first time I ever heard about that. So, and might have told my sister, but
Don't say names, Dad.
We'll bleep all that out.
We're bleeping all the names.
Okay. But
But the way that I heard it, they planned a party, an engagement party. That's what it was.
And then it was the wedding.
And then everybody showed up and they actually got married there. So it was kind of like
a prank.
A prank.
Yeah, right. Yeah. A social experiment.
Because is that the
And
one?
Dad wasn't invited.
Is that the one that lasted or not lasted?
Okay, so that's the other aspect of this, right?
It's the current one. It's lasting.
That is a question because, traditionally, I mean, obviously, like going way back, traditionally, like the literal, handing off, like when a woman was considered a piece of property.
Talking about betrothal?
It was literally the father being like, I literally give my daughter to this other man. Like that was how the whole thing kind of started, right? So it's got some problematic roots. But sort of like what it evolved into is this public ceremony that you're doing in front of your community and your family and friends, where you're saying that like we have chosen each other and we're doing that in the broad daylight of everybody here so that you know that we're making this commitment to each other. And I think that there's a lot of good in that. That can be very healthy in terms of like with the support of you supporting me and us supporting each other and us in this community supporting our relationship.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. That is not how the world works anymore. I mean, most people are so isolated, and maybe if you're in a small town and that there's that dynamic, but it usually at this point is like a bunch of people who don't know the other person's family. Like most weddings you go to today, it's not two people from the same town getting married and they're kind of doing it in front of their community. It's like somebody from Wisconsin marrying somebody from Florida. And it's just like you're getting to know all these people. And I'm not saying there's not a point to the ceremony, but it's evolved to a place where it feels a little bit ritualistic and a little bit
antiquated.
Yeah.
Depending on this is the finer point I want to put on it. This is where I want to draw the line. And I think it applies to this and the last conversation about engagement. And Dad, I think this is what you were getting at too. If it becomes more about a show for everybody else than it does about the two of you, then that's a problem. So it doesn't matter what you do as long as you protect the special part of it that's about the two of you, and it's not about everybody else. I mean, me and Christy were so young and our wedding was so big, it was really difficult to make it about the two of us and like our special moment. It really felt, there were so many external expectations, and it was like, wow, it's just becoming an exhibition.
Yeah.
versus a beautiful beginning.
And sometimes a party.
And that's tough. That's
a party
tough
for the parents themselves, right?
Right.
Well, Red, it could have been like when Link and his mother and I got married, and and this was in 1974. And when I came out of the church, and most of the time back then they threw rice, my uncle dumped a 5-pound bag of flour over my head.
Oh my gosh.
Uncle Johnny, you knew it.
Okay. And
It almost killed you, actually.
yeah.
Because that'll make you choke.
Because you can't breathe, right?
I mean, it's
like the cinnamon
something.
challenge.
So I mean,
But that made for some great pictures.
I mean, yeah, the man who was taking the pictures, it was something. But I mean,
That was
it's
a bit
just
much.
like but that was Johnny. But when it made me mad as hell.
Yeah.
But because I mean, we had a reception, and then
You were covered in flour.
oh yeah.
Well, your son then carried on the tradition of getting flour thrown at him.
Yeah, I've had that done a couple of times. It's never gone well.
It's what runs in the family.
I don't know. So the things have changed about how weddings go on.
Right.
So,
Well, and I think that if you think that your family is going to be an asset or going to be needed for your relationship to flourish, which again, in an ideal situation, that's how it works, right? Like your parents are a resource, your parents are a support, your friends and family are a resource and a support that enhances your relationship. Then I think, and they've been supportive of your relationship thus far, and you've got the money to do a wedding, then I think that having that ceremony is great because it invites everyone into your love story. But let's just be honest, that's not how a lot of family acts.
Right.
Sometimes they're not interested in your love story. They want to dictate your love story. So if that is the way that the dynamic turns out in your situation, then just elope. Don't feel any, just do it.
And put that money towards the honeymoon. That's right. Take a trip. I'm a fan of a trip. Let's squeeze one more in.
Hey, Rhett Link. This is Nick from Paducah, Kentucky. I'm currently headed to St. Louis to deliver groceries to a towboat. My question is, if you had to name a towboat, what would you two name it? Appreciate it. Love the content. Keep it up.
Delivering groceries to a towboat, which I usually call a tugboat.
Okay. I like it when you say that. Tugboat.
Do tugboats usually have names?
I think all boats should have names.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a tugboat is small, but it's mighty.
So?
Little, big boy.
Little big boy. Okay, that's a good one.
Small but mighty, not Mighty Mouse. That already exists.
What about something with pull, like pull out game strong?
Oh.
Because
Tug a lug.
he's
pulling them out.
together again.
Yep, because he shows up to other boats. It's like, we're together again. I like that one. Sometimes, do they push sometimes though?
They do. I saw one pushing.
yeah.
Right, they can get behind you and they can push.
But what did
that
happen
sounds like
to food?
Everybody needs groceries.
A tugboat guy's got to eat too.
Oh, I know, but I mean, I didn't think they stayed out there on the water that long. I mean,
Yeah, is he on another boat going out to the tugboat?
It sounds like this might be a Postmate situation.
Yeah, this is Postmates to a tugboat. Tugboat Uber. I think if you're pushing, makes me think of pregnancy. So I'm like, I'm trying to combine OBGYN and tugboat. Tug BGYN.
Tug GBYN.
Tug BGYN.
Okay, I about like that.
No, it's because the G in Tug-gyne. Tug-gynecologist.
Tug-gynecologist? All right, that's great. I like that.
Obstetrician. We need the obstetrician part in there. I don't know. It's going to be a little long. What about
Tug's-trician? Tug one out.
Tug it. Tugalicious.
Let's tug about that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Let's tug about that because if I don't know if you are actually I don't know if
I like that.
part of your Uber order or whatever you're doing
That's a
is
good one.
you've also been given like in the notes on your delivery app. Did they say please name my towboat when you show up?
Well, he's just saying
Because
it's something for us to do. But yeah, that's a different service.
Well,
Show up and name my boat.
the problem is that he's already shown up. This is in the past, unless this is a really long order. Next time he goes out there,
Right.
though.
When they're together again, you
Right.
can say,
Okay, there we go. We've named a tugboat.
Dad, you didn't have any names for the tugboat.
No, I didn't.
You never named a boat because you don't like boat. You're not a boat person.
Well, if it's on the lake, it's all right, but it's not in the ocean. I don't have sea legs.
Okay, I got you.
I don't either.
Well, we're going for Tug BGYN.
Tug G-B-Y-N?
Let's tug about that. We're sticking with that one.
Okay, before we go, I got a quick rec for you. I was watching a TikTok, and they were interviewing. It was one of those things that, like, John Turturro was on the red carpet, and they were like, "What are your favorite movies of 2024?" And he's like, "Oh, Janet Planet." It was the first thing he said, and I was like,
I haven't heard of Janet Planet.
I hadn't heard of any of the movies that he referenced, and but I was like, you know what? I was on the plane coming back from our trip to New York, and Janet Planet was on there, and I was like, you know what? John Turturro recommended this. I'm going to watch it because it's a beautiful performance from the little girl.
That's really good, actually.
And so I watched that, and it's a great movie.
Was it like John was there with you the whole time?
Yeah, he was like, she's really doing a great job. But
That's good.
it was, don't make me keep doing it. So it's slow. There's slow pacing. There's not a lot of dialogue.
Oh.
And it doesn't have like a traditional plot structure. So
wow, boy,
okay.
I'm sign me up. I am so excited now.
So I'm just saying that, like, if you're a little bit too much of a normie and you need 3 acts and a good climax, then this might not be for you. But if you're a cinemaphile like me and John Turturro, Janet Planet
is the most backhanded recommendation.
Is very heartwarming, and it really is a great performance from this little girl. I don't know the actor's name, but she is really really good.
Janet.
She actually doesn't.
Oh,
that's her mom.
Okay.
But I recommend it. Take a slow-paced evening or afternoon and watch Janet Planet.
Dad, are you gonna watch it? Be honest.
I might. I mean, if I ain't got a lot to do, I don't watch many movies, so probably not.
Well, it's fine. Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm not gonna watch it either, based on your description. All right, we'll talk at you next week. Remember, you call us, you say something that makes our eyebrows raise, we're gonna want to talk about it. 1-888-EARPOD1. And Dad, get a little plug in for your favorite podcast before we go.
And all you Myrtle Beach out there, y'all, and everybody that wants to join, start watching Dispatches from Myrtle Beach.
Wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube.
Yeah. Rather be shagging53 at AOL.com.
That's his address.
Let him know.
Email him.
Rhett Link. My name's Hunter. I'm a mailman out in Ohio. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for making my day easier. When I'm out here delivering the mail and packages, I listen to Ear Biscuits every single day in the morning, and it gets me through my day. I have no questions, but I just wanted to say thank you guys. You're helping the United States Postal Service stay in business. So thank you, and keep being awesome. Have a good one.